Have you ever felt completely drained, like every ounce of strength inside you has slipped away? That crushing moment when your mind whispers you're too weak to keep going and your heart feels heavy with doubt? It's a feeling we all encounter at some point, times when the weight of life seems unbearable and giving up feels like the easiest choice. But what if I told you that this exact feeling, this raw, vulnerable moment, is where true strength begins? What if weakness isn't the end, but the doorway to your greatest power? When you feel weak, you are standing on the edge of transformation. It's easy to mistake weakness for failure, but they are not the same. Weakness is not your enemy. It is a signal. It's your body and mind telling you they are stretched, tested, and ready to grow if you're willing to face it. Accepting weakness means accepting your humanity. You are not less because you struggle. You are real. This truth is the foundation of courage. When you realize that everyone feels this way sometimes, it removes the unbearable weight of loneliness and shame. You are not broken, you are human. And in that humanness lies an unshakable strength waiting to rise. Imagine for a moment how life would change if you could see your weakest moments not as defeats, but as the starting line for your comeback. Imagine waking up knowing that every struggle you face is shaping you into a stronger, braver version of yourself. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's the truth of how strength works. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about standing up again, even when every part of you wants to stay down. It's about the courage to keep going when the path is dark and your energy is low. It's about finding a spark inside you that refuses to die out, no matter how tired you are. This spark, your inner strength, is always there, even when you can't feel it. It just needs to be recognized, nurtured, and trusted. You have it. You can tap into it right now. As you listen to these words, know that you're not alone in your fight. The very fact that you are here means you're seeking more for yourself, for your future. You're ready to break free from the chains of weakness that hold you back. This video will guide you through the journey of turning that weakness into power. It will show you how to shift your mindset, how to use your pain as fuel, and how to build a strength that lasts through every challenge. By the end, you will see that feeling weak is not the enemy, it's the call to rise. The choice is yours. Continue feeling stuck or step into the strength that's waiting inside you. This moment is yours to claim. Stay with me because your breakthrough begins here. Strength begins in the way you see yourself when no one else is watching. The battle you face inside your mind shapes every choice you make, every step you take. What if the weakness you feel is not a sign of defeat, but a call to shift the story you tell yourself? The way you interpret your struggles can either imprison you or set you free. When your mind believes weakness means failure, it shuts down hope and energy. But when your mind understands that weakness is part of growth, it opens doors to courage and possibility. This change in perspective isn't just a nice idea. It's a powerful tool your brain uses to rewire itself and build resilience. You are not trapped by your feelings. You are shaped by how you respond to them. Think about the moments when you told yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not enough. Those words created limits inside your mind. They were like walls built from fear and doubt. But those walls aren't fixed. They can crumble when you choose to believe in your ability to grow. Strength is a mindset. It's the decision to face discomfort, to embrace challenge, and to say not yet instead of never. You don't need to feel ready or perfect to be strong. Strength grows in the struggle itself, in every time you refuse to quit, even when your spirit aches. This mental shift rewires your brain to see obstacles as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. It rewires your brain to turn pressure into power. Your thoughts hold incredible influence. Neuroscience shows that your brain changes when you change your thoughts. When you practice seeing difficulty as an opportunity, your brain forms new pathways. These pathways make you stronger and more capable. This means your mind is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally if you learn how to guide it. Every time you catch yourself in a negative thought, you have a choice. You can feed it and let it grow, or you can challenge it and replace it with hope and possibility. The more you choose the latter, the more strength you build inside. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending life is easy. It's about training your brain to find strength in truth, even when truth feels hard. Your power lies in your willingness to shift perspective and fight for your inner voice. the voice that says you are enough. You can try again. This moment does not define you. Strength is not about never feeling weak. It is about choosing to believe you are stronger than any weakness. This mindset is the foundation for every step forward you take. It fuels action, courage, and transformation. You are not powerless over your mind. You are the master of the story you tell yourself. Now is the time to begin that inner work, to see weakness not as an enemy, but as a signal to activate your greatest strength. When your mind shifts, your whole life shifts with it. You become unstoppable, not because you never fall, but because you rise each time with more courage, more wisdom, and more belief in yourself. This is the power waiting inside you, ready to be unleashed, with the simple yet profound decision to see weakness through a new lens. Your strength is waiting. It begins right here, right now, inside your mind. Strength does not appear suddenly like lightning striking the ground. It grows quietly, invisibly, through the small choices you make every day. Each moment you decide to keep going, even when you want to stop, you plant a seed of resilience deep inside yourself. Science shows that the brain rewards small wins with bursts of motivation and positivity. This means every tiny victory you claim is not insignificant. It's a powerful building block of your strength. You don't need to conquer mountains overnight. Strength is earned through consistent daily actions that might seem small but carry enormous weight over time. Waking up one more day, choosing hope over despair, speaking kindly to yourself, taking a single step forward, all these seemingly simple acts accumulate and transform you. The truth is, your brain craves progress. When it sees you moving forward, even just a little, it releases chemicals that create feelings of accomplishment and satisfaction. This natural reward system motivates you to keep pushing, even when the journey is tough. So when you feel weak, remind yourself that progress is a series of small wins. It is not about perfection or giant leaps. It is about steady persistence. When the weight of life feels unbearable, breaking it down into tiny, manageable steps can change everything. These steps are the foundation of your inner strength, built quietly, patiently, until one day you realize you are stronger than ever before. This means that no matter how heavy the burden you carry, you have the power to start rebuilding your strength right now. You can begin with something as simple as breathing deeply, standing tall, or repeating a positive thought. These small acts send a powerful message to your mind. You are still fighting, you are still growing, you are not defeated. Your brain remembers these moments and rewires itself to become more resilient. Each small success rewrites the story you tell yourself, from one of weakness to one of strength. The power lies in consistency, not intensity. It is the quiet persistence in the face of adversity that defines true strength. Understanding this gives you control. It removes the pressure to be perfect or to have all the answers. Strength is available to you every time you choose to take one more step forward, no matter how small. This makes strength accessible even when you feel your weakest. You don't need to wait for a burst of energy or inspiration. You only need to commit to the next small action, then the one after that. Over time, these steps create momentum that propels you beyond your doubts and fears. You have within you the capacity to rise again, not through grand gestures, but through tiny, deliberate choices that build over time. When you feel weak, remember this truth. Strength is not an all-or-nothing prize. It is earned quietly, day by day, with every small win you claim. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you become unstoppable. Your journey to strength begins now, with the smallest step forward right where you are. Pain is often seen as the enemy, something to avoid, something to fear. Yet pain holds a secret power that few understand. It is through pain that your mind and body learn, adapt, and grow stronger. When you feel weak, it is because your limits are being tested, your comfort zone is being stretched. This discomfort is not a sign to stop. It is a signal that transformation is underway. Science confirms that when you face difficult experiences, your brain forms new connections, becoming more resilient and capable. Pain reshapes you, not to break you, but to build you. This is not easy to accept because pain feels raw, intense, and overwhelming. But embracing pain instead of resisting it rewires your relationship with struggle. You begin to see pain as a necessary passage towards strength, not a dead end. Your body responds to challenge by activating growth, just as muscles strengthen through resistance. The same is true for your mind and spirit. When you push through pain, your capacity to endure expands. This means that every moment of suffering holds hidden value. It is training ground for your courage and resilience. The discomfort you feel is temporary, but the strength it produces lasts. This gives pain a profound purpose, to teach you what you are truly capable of. When you accept pain as a teacher rather than a threat, you shift from victimhood to empowerment. Your weakness becomes a bridge, not a barrier, to becoming stronger. The emotional intensity of pain can be paralyzing if you let it overwhelm you. But within that intensity lies the choice to respond differently. You can surrender to it, or you can harness it as fuel for growth. This choice is the essence of courage. It is the decision to face fear, discomfort, and hardship head-on, knowing that these experiences will forge a stronger, more resilient self. The more you practice this response, the more your mind adapts to adversity. You build an internal toughness that is unshaken by future struggles. Pain loses its power to stop you because you have learned to flow through it. When weakness threatens to consume you, remind yourself that pain is part of the path to power. Every painful moment you endure is strengthening your ability to stand tall. The path to strength is not smooth or painless. It is jagged, steep, and full of challenge. Yet it is precisely this difficulty that makes the destination so valuable. Pain clears away what no longer serves you and makes space for growth. It strips away illusions of ease and comfort, leaving you raw but real. This rawness is where true strength is born, not from ease, but from enduring and rising despite hardship. You don't have to wait for pain to disappear to find strength. You find it by meeting pain with courage. You find it by refusing to let pain define your limits. You find it by knowing that every moment of discomfort is reshaping your brain, your heart, and your future. Pain is not the enemy. It is the forge that creates the strongest steel. Your weakness today is the foundation of your strength tomorrow. The choice to embrace this truth transforms your struggle into unstoppable power. Fear is not the absence of strength. It is a part of the process that leads to it. Courage does not mean you are never afraid. It means you feel fear deeply but choose to move forward anyway. This is where true bravery lives, in the space between fear and action. When you feel weak, it is often fear whispering that you cannot continue, that you are not enough, that failure is inevitable. These thoughts are natural. They come from your survival instincts trying to protect you from pain and risk. But strength is born when you refuse to let fear have the final say. Every time you push through fear, you strengthen the part of you that says, I can. This defiance against fear rewires your brain, making courage easier to summon next time. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but action creates clarity. When you take a step forward, even a small one, fear loses its grip. The brain registers this movement as progress, triggering confidence and momentum. This creates a cycle. Action fuels courage, and courage fuels more action. You are not powerless against fear. You have the power to break this cycle of doubt by choosing to act despite discomfort. This is the secret to becoming strong when you feel weak. Courage grows through practice, not perfection. It grows when you say yes to your challenges instead of no. It grows when you refuse to be paralyzed by fear and instead use it as a signal to step up. Every courageous act, no matter how small, rewires your brain's response to fear. You create new pathways of strength that become automatic over time. The fear that once stopped you will begin to lose its intensity. Your mind learns that fear does not equal failure. It learns that fear is simply part of growth. This understanding is a game changer. It frees you from the chains of avoidance and doubt. It empowers you to face your struggles head on and arise, even when your heart pounds and your legs shake. Strength is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward in spite of it, again and again. Choosing courage also means choosing hope. It means trusting that the struggle you face today will shape you into someone stronger tomorrow. Hope fuels resilience because it keeps you focused on the possibility of change, not the permanence of pain. When you combine courage with hope, you create an unstoppable force inside yourself. You no longer wait for fear to disappear. You move forward alongside it. You don't need to feel fearless. You only need to feel willing. The power to be strong when you feel weak lies in this willingness to act, to persist, and to believe in your ability to grow. It lies in embracing fear as part of the journey rather than a sign to retreat. Courage is your birthright. It is already inside you, waiting for you to reach out and claim it. Every moment you choose to be brave, you rewrite your future. You build a legacy of strength that no weakness can erase. This is how transformation happens, not in the absence of fear, but in the courageous choice to stand tall despite it. Resilience is not a trait you are simply born with. It is a muscle you develop through challenge and commitment. It grows when you refuse to surrender, even when your spirit is battered and your body feels heavy with exhaustion. Resilience is the quiet, persistent voice inside you that says, "This is hard, but I will keep going." It is the ability to bend without breaking, to absorb the blows life delivers and still rise. The strongest people are not those who avoid pain or hardship. They are those who face it head on and refuse to be defeated. This refusal to give up rewires the brain, shaping new pathways of strength and endurance. With every challenge you endure and every moment you choose to persist, you build resilience that becomes a shield against future struggles. When weakness threatens to overwhelm, resilience is the force that pulls you back. It is not an instant fix or a magical switch, but a daily commitment to yourself. It is waking up each morning and deciding to fight for your dreams, your purpose, and your well-being, no matter how tired or afraid you feel. Science shows that resilient people have a unique ability to regulate emotions and maintain focus under pressure. This ability is not reserved for a select few. It can be cultivated by anyone willing to practice. Resilience is a choice to see setbacks not as permanent failures, but as temporary obstacles that can be overcome. When you embrace this mindset, your power to endure grows exponentially. The process of building resilience requires patience and self-compassion. It asks you to forgive yourself for moments of doubt or weakness instead of allowing shame to erode your confidence. The path to strength is rarely straight or smooth. You will stumble, you will feel broken at times, but resilience means standing back up every time you fall. It means understanding that progress is not linear and that each step backward is a setup for a stronger leap forward. By embracing this truth, you free yourself from the burden of perfectionism and open the door to genuine growth. Your resilience is forged in this cycle of falling and rising. Embracing resilience also means accepting that vulnerability is part of strength. It's the courage to be real with yourself and others about your struggles. When you stop hiding your pain and allow yourself to feel deeply, you release the tension that comes from pretending to be invincible. Vulnerability opens space for healing and connection, which fuels your ability to recover and thrive. The more you accept your whole self, including your weaknesses and fears, the stronger you become. Resilience is not about being unbreakable. It is about being whole, honest, and determined to keep moving forward despite difficulty. You are more resilient than you realize. Every challenge you face, and every time you choose to persist, you grow this resilience. It accumulates like armor, protecting you against future storms. Your strength is built not in the absence of hardship, but in your willingness to rise each time you fall. This resilience is your foundation for lasting courage, hope, and power. It is what makes you unstoppable. When you feel weak, remember that resilience is the force that will carry you through. Your commitment to keep going is the greatest strength you can ever have. Hope is the spark that keeps the flame of strength alive when everything around you feels dark and heavy. It is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. Hope is a deliberate choice to believe in the possibility of change, even when the present moment feels unbearable. This belief is not just comforting, it is essential. Neuroscience reveals that hope activates parts of the brain associated with motivation and problem solving. When you hold on to hope, your mind begins to search for solutions instead of giving in to despair. Hope fuels your ability to endure, to take action, and to imagine a future where your pain does not control you. Without hope, weakness can feel like a trap With hope, it becomes a challenge to overcome. When you feel weak, hope gives you permission to keep trying. It whispers that this moment is temporary and that growth is possible. Hope anchors you to the future you want, not the past you're escaping. It reminds you that pain and struggle are chapters in your story, not the entire book. This mindset is critical because it shifts your focus from what is broken to what can be built. Your brain thrives when it has a goal to aim for. Hope provides that goal. It lights a path forward no matter how dim the light may seem. This makes hope a powerful antidote to helplessness and fear. Hope also strengthens your emotional resilience. When you expect good things to come, your body responds with reduced stress hormones and increased feelings of calm and control. This physiological response enhances your ability to think clearly, make decisions, and act effectively during difficult times. Hope helps you face uncertainty with courage because it builds a sense of possibility rather than limitation. It encourages you to see problems as temporary and solvable, which fuels persistence and determination. The science behind hope proves that it is not just an emotion, it is a survival skill, vital to building strength in moments of weakness. To nurture hope, you must consciously cultivate it. This means focusing on what you can control, however small, instead of what you cannot. It means setting achievable goals, celebrating progress, and reminding yourself that setbacks are part of the process. It means rejecting the voice inside that says this is hopeless and replacing it with I am capable of change. When you practice hope, it becomes a habit, rewiring your brain to expect possibility rather than defeat. This habit creates an upward spiral where hope leads to action and action fuels more hope. It turns weakness into a stepping stone towards strength. You have the power to choose hope every day, no matter how dark your circumstances feel. This choice is not naive. It is brave. It requires courage to believe in a better tomorrow when today feels heavy. Yet hope is the force that will carry you through. It will lift you when you feel broken and push you when you feel stuck. Hope is the light inside you, waiting to be claimed. When you hold on to hope, you hold on to strength. Your weakness is not the end. It is the beginning of your rise. Hope is the foundation of that rise. Your mindset is the lens through which you experience every challenge, every setback, every moment of weakness. It shapes not only how you interpret difficulty, but how you respond to it. The power of your mind to influence your strength is immense, yet it often goes unnoticed. When you feel weak, your thoughts can either imprison you or set you free. Negative thinking, self-doubt, and harsh judgment create barriers that keep you stuck. But a mindset rooted in possibility, growth, and self-compassion opens doors to resilience and courage. This shift in perspective rewires your brain to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Your strength begins in the way you think. Science confirms that the brain is adaptable. It changes based on the thoughts you choose to focus on. This means your mindset is not fixed. You can cultivate mental patterns that build strength and resilience. When you train your mind to focus on progress, gratitude, and self-belief, you build a foundation that supports you in moments of weakness. This mental training rewires neural pathways, making optimism and courage your default responses rather than fear and doubt. The journey to being strong when you feel weak starts here, with a commitment to shift your internal dialogue and to believe in your capacity for growth. Self-compassion is a key component of this mindset. Being kind to yourself when you struggle is not a sign of weakness, it is a source of strength. When you accept your imperfections and acknowledge your pain without judgment, you reduce the emotional burden that weighs you down. This emotional relief frees up energy to focus on action and healing. Self-compassion encourages persistence because it replaces harsh criticism with encouragement. It allows you to see setbacks as part of the learning process, not evidence of failure. The way you treat yourself in moments of weakness determines how quickly you bounce back. Mindset also influences how you set goals and approach obstacles. A growth mindset believes that abilities can be developed through effort and learning. It sees failure as feedback and challenges as chances to improve. This mindset transforms how you view weakness. Instead of a stopping point, it becomes a starting line for transformation. This perspective gives you permission to try, fail, and try again without fear of judgment. It fuels the resilience and courage needed to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear or difficult. Changing your mindset requires intentional practice. It means catching negative thoughts and reframing them. It means affirming your value and potential daily. It means focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. This mental discipline strengthens your inner voice, making it louder and more powerful than doubt. Your mindset is your most powerful tool for becoming strong when you feel weak. By choosing to cultivate a mindset of growth, hope, and self-compassion, you create the mental environment for strength to flourish. Your thoughts shape your reality. Choose them wisely. Action is the bridge between feeling weak and becoming strong. No matter how much hope, resilience, or mindset you cultivate, it is the choices you make, the steps you take, that create real change. When you feel weak, it is easy to freeze, to wait for the perfect moment or for strength to magically appear. But strength is not something that finds you. It is something you build through consistent action, especially when you do not feel ready. Taking action, even the smallest step, shifts your body and mind out of paralysis and into motion. This motion triggers confidence and momentum, turning fear and doubt into fuel for growth. The psychology behind action reveals that movement rewires your brain in powerful ways. When you act despite discomfort, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical that motivates and rewards progress. This means that action creates a positive feedback loop. Moving forward feels good, and feeling good makes you want to keep moving. Action reduces the overwhelming feelings of weakness by breaking big challenges into manageable steps. Each step taken is proof to your mind that you are capable. It is proof that weakness is temporary and strength is within reach. Action also teaches your brain new ways to handle stress and uncertainty. The more you practice pushing through discomfort, the more your neural pathways strengthen, making it easier to face adversity next time. This neurological growth mirrors physical training. Just as muscles grow through resistance, your mind and spirit grow stronger with each act of courage. This means that strength is a habit, built one brave decision at a time. You do not need to leap to the finish line in a single bound. You only need to take one step forward today, then another tomorrow. It is important to recognize that action is not always about grand gestures or dramatic changes. Often, it is about small, consistent efforts that accumulate over time. It might be setting boundaries, asking for help, practicing self-care, or simply showing up when it feels easier to give up. These small actions compound, building a foundation of strength that carries you through harder times. When weakness tries to convince you that you are powerless, action reminds you of your power. It reconnects you with your ability to influence your life and your future. Choosing action also means embracing discomfort. Growth does not come from comfort zones. It comes from stretching beyond what feels safe. Taking action when you feel weak is an act of defiance against your doubts and fears. It says, "I will move forward even if I am afraid." This courage to act fuels transformation. It rewires your brain to expect progress rather than stagnation. This expectation propels you forward, creating momentum that builds on itself. The more you act, the stronger you become, and the less power weakness holds over you. Your future strength depends on the actions you take now. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over weakness. The power to be strong when you feel weak is in your hands. Choose to act. Choose to move. Choose to rise. This is how transformation begins. Discipline is the invisible force that turns fleeting moments of motivation into lasting strength. When you feel weak, motivation alone will not carry you forward. Motivation is fragile, influenced by emotions and external circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is a commitment to action regardless of how you feel in the moment. It is the steady heartbeat beneath your drive, the daily decision to do what must be done, even when your energy is low and your spirit is tired. This consistency builds an unshakable foundation for strength, transforming weakness into a distant memory. The power of discipline lies in its ability to reprogram your brain and body. Habits form through repetition, and discipline is the glue that binds these repetitions into routines that support your growth. Each discipline choice strengthens neural pathways associated with willpower, resilience, and focus. Over time, what once required immense effort becomes automatic. This automaticity frees up mental energy, allowing you to face challenges with greater ease. Discipline rewires your brain to operate from strength instead of struggle, making endurance a natural part of who you are. Discipline also shapes your identity. When you consistently choose to act with purpose, you send a message to yourself about who you are and what you value. This internal narrative is powerful. It influences your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, reinforcing your ability to overcome weakness. Your identity as a strong person is built one disciplined action at a time. This identity becomes a source of motivation that lasts far beyond any momentary feeling. The more you embody discipline, the less power weakness has over you. Understanding that discipline is not about perfection, but persistence is crucial. You will face days when your will falters, when the weight of weakness seems too heavy. Discipline is not about never slipping. It is about refusing to stay down. It is about getting back up, recommitting to your path, and pushing forward despite setbacks. This mindset builds emotional toughness, allowing you to recover quickly and keep moving. Discipline teaches you that progress is a series of small, consistent efforts, not giant leaps. Discipline thrives when supported by clear goals and routines. Setting specific, achievable goals provides direction and purpose, making it easier to stay committed. Routines reduce decision fatigue by creating structure and predictability in your day. Together, goals and routines create an environment where discipline can flourish. This environment becomes a sanctuary from the chaos of emotions and uncertainty, anchoring you in steady progress. When you design your life around discipline, you create a fortress against weakness. Discipline is the foundation on which strength is built. It is the quiet, consistent force that carries you through moments of doubt, fear, and fatigue. When motivation fades, discipline remains. When emotions waver, discipline steadies you. It transforms your potential into reality, your dreams into achievements. Choosing discipline means choosing strength every day, regardless of how you feel. This choice is the greatest gift you can give yourself on the path from weakness to power. Strength does not grow in isolation. It flourishes in connection. When you feel weak, the world may seem like a lonely place, but human connection is one of the most powerful forces for rebuilding resilience. We are wired to respond to support, understanding, and encouragement. Reaching out, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and accepting help are not signs of weakness. They are courageous acts that fuel your strength. Connection reminds you that you are not alone in your struggles, that others have faced hardship and emerged stronger. This shared experience lightens your burden and renews your energy to keep moving forward. Psychology shows that social support reduces stress and increases feelings of safety. When you connect with others, your brain releases oxytocin, a chemical that calms fear and builds trust. This physiological change helps you face challenges with greater confidence. Supportive relationships act as emotional anchors during storms of doubt and despair. They provide perspective when your mind becomes clouded by negativity. The encouragement and accountability found in connection motivate you to take action even when your inner voice urges you to give up. This external reinforcement strengthens your internal resolve. Connection also deepens your sense of purpose. When you share your journey with others, you create meaning from your struggles. You become part of something larger than yourself. This sense of belonging inspires perseverance. Knowing that your growth impacts not only you, but those who care about you, adds fuel to your determination. The desire to show up for others becomes a powerful motivator when your own strength feels insufficient. Connection transforms isolation into community and weakness into collective strength. Being open to support requires courage. It means setting aside pride and fear of judgment to ask for what you need. This vulnerability is an act of honesty that builds trust and deepens bonds. It creates space for empathy and understanding, allowing healing to begin. Connection nurtures emotional resilience by reminding you that your struggles are human and that help is available. It breaks the cycle of self-doubt and loneliness that often accompanies weakness. When you embrace connection, you invite strength into your life through shared humanity. Building strong connections also requires you to be present and attentive. Listening with compassion and offering support to others creates reciprocal relationships that sustain growth. These relationships act as mirrors, reflecting your progress and reminding you of your value. They hold you accountable and celebrate your victories, big and small. The energy exchanged in these connections revitalizes your spirit and motivates you to keep rising, even when the path feels overwhelming. Your strength is amplified by the people you allow into your life. Connection is not a sign of dependency, but a source of empowerment. When weakness threatens to isolate you, let connection pull you back. Let shared experiences, encouragement, and understanding become the pillars that support your rise. In the embrace of connection, your strength is multiplied. You do not have to face hardship alone. Together, you become stronger than weakness ever imagined. Your body is the foundation of your strength. Yet when you feel weak, it's easy to neglect its power. Physical well-being is deeply connected to mental resilience. The way you treat your body influences your mood, energy, and ability to face challenges. When weakness settles in, it can feel like your body is betraying you, but this is far from the truth. Your body is an ally, a source of untapped strength that responds to care, movement, and nourishment. Honoring your physical self is a vital step toward reclaiming your power and standing strong. Science proves that physical activity releases endorphins, natural chemicals that reduce pain and boost feelings of happiness. Movement breaks the cycle of fatigue and despair, flooding your system with energy and clarity. When you engage your body, even in small ways, you signal to your brain that you are choosing life and vitality over surrender. This simple act can shift your mindset from weakness to strength. Your body's resilience becomes a mirror for your mind's potential, reminding you that both can grow stronger together. Nutrition plays a crucial role as well. What you fuel your body with affects your mental clarity and emotional stability. Consuming nourishing foods replenishes your energy reserves, sharpens focus, and stabilizes mood swings that often accompany feelings of weakness. When your body is well nourished, you are better equipped to handle stress and maintain motivation. Every bite is an opportunity to invest in your strength, making self-care a non-negotiable part of your transformation. Rest and recovery are equally important. Your body needs time to heal and rejuvenate, especially when you feel drained. Sleep resets your mind and body, strengthening your immune system and improving cognitive function. Without adequate rest, your willpower diminishes, making it harder to resist the pull of weakness. Prioritizing rest is a radical act of self-love that restores your capacity to fight, to persevere, to rise again. It is not a luxury, but a necessity for sustained strength. Listening to your body's signals fosters a deeper connection to your inner power. When you honor fatigue by resting and counterbalance it with movement, you create harmony within. This balance helps prevent burnout and cultivates endurance. Your body becomes a trusted guide, teaching you when to push forward and when to slow down. This mindful approach builds confidence and respect for yourself, essential ingredients for overcoming weakness. Physical strength and mental resilience are inseparable. Each influences the other in a continuous cycle. When you care for your body, you empower your mind. When your mind grows stronger, your body follows. Together, they form the foundation for lasting courage and transformation. The decision to honor your physical self is a declaration that you are ready to reclaim your strength from every angle. Choosing to move, nourish, and rest is an act of courage in the face of weakness. It signals a commitment to yourself that goes beyond momentary feelings. It is a daily investment in your power, your resilience, your future. Your body is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. Treat it as such, and you will find the strength you seek, not only within your mind, but in every fiber of your being. Your mind is the battleground where strength and weakness confront each other every day. The thoughts you allow to take root shape your reality and dictate your actions. When you feel weak, your mind often becomes a prison filled with doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs that hold you back. Yet within the same mind lies the key to liberation, the power to shift your perspective, to choose thoughts that empower rather than diminish you. Cultivating mental strength is not about ignoring difficulty, but about mastering the inner dialogue that either fuels your rise or deepens your fall. Recognizing the power of your thoughts is the first step toward transformation. Every thought creates a chemical reaction in your brain, influencing your emotions and behaviors. Negative thoughts trigger stress and fear, narrowing your focus and sapping energy. Positive, empowering thoughts, on the other hand, release chemicals that increase resilience and motivation. This means that your mind is not a passive victim of circumstance. It is an active participant in creating your experience. You can train your mind to work for you instead of against you, even in moments of weakness. This training requires awareness and intention. Notice the patterns of thought that pull you into despair or self-doubt. Challenge these patterns with questions that promote clarity and strength. Is this thought true? Is it helpful? What would a stronger, braver version of me say right now? These questions interrupt the automatic cycle of negativity and open space for new, constructive beliefs. Replacing destructive thoughts with affirmations of capability and courage rewires your brain over time, strengthening your mental muscles just as physical exercise builds your body. Mental strength is also cultivated through focus and presence. Weakness often thrives in distraction, in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. Anchoring your awareness in the present moment grounds you in reality and reduces the power of overwhelming emotions. Mindfulness practices, even simple breath awareness, calm the nervous system and restore control over your thoughts. This clarity empowers you to respond to challenges with intention rather than react with fear. Presence becomes a shield against the mental storms that threaten to weaken you. Resilience grows when you consistently practice reframing difficulties as opportunities. Every challenge holds a lesson that, when embraced, builds your capacity to endure and adapt. Viewing setbacks not as failures, but as essential steps on the path to strength transforms your mindset. This perspective shifts you from victimhood to empowerment, igniting a deep well of courage within. Your mind becomes a source of inspiration, a place where weakness can be transformed into fuel for growth. The battle for strength is won or lost in the mind. Your thoughts shape your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. By choosing to cultivate mental resilience, you reclaim control over your inner world. This control is your greatest strength when you feel weak. It is the foundation on which all other forms of strength are built. Guard your mind fiercely, nurture it wisely, and watch as your life transforms from a place of weakness to a realm of unstoppable power. Your emotions are powerful currents beneath the surface of your thoughts and actions. When weakness creeps in, it often brings with it waves of fear, sadness, frustration, and doubt. These feelings can feel overwhelming, as if they will drown your will to continue. But emotions are not enemies to be feared or suppressed. They are signals, messengers that guide you toward what matters most. Learning to navigate your emotions with awareness and courage transforms these currents into forces that propel you forward instead of pulling you under. To be strong when you feel weak means to acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Denying or ignoring how you feel only prolongs your pain and keeps you trapped in helplessness. Instead, lean into your emotions with curiosity and compassion. Feel them fully, name them clearly, and give yourself permission to experience them. This honest engagement with your feelings breaks their power to control you. When you stop resisting and start accepting, you create space for healing and strength to grow. Emotional resilience is built through this practice of mindful acceptance. Your emotions are transient. They rise, peak, and fall like tides. When you observe them without clinging or pushing away, you train your mind to remain steady amidst internal storms. This steadiness is the foundation of true strength. It allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, to hold yourself with kindness when life tests you most. Emotional mastery does not mean the absence of pain. It means refusing to be defined or defeated by it. Fear often masquerades as weakness, whispering lies about your limitations and the risks ahead. Yet courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Each time you face fear and take action anyway, you weaken its grip and expand your capacity for bravery. This cycle of confronting fear and choosing strength rewires your brain, building a deeper sense of confidence that survives even the hardest moments. Your emotions become tools, not traps, guiding you toward growth instead of paralysis. Frustration and sadness, though painful, also carry valuable messages. They point to unmet needs and desires, motivating change when harnessed constructively. Allow these emotions to fuel your determination to create a better reality. When you transform emotional pain into purposeful action, you shift from victim to warrior. Your feelings become the fire that forges your resilience and sharpens your will. Ultimately, emotional strength arises from the willingness to be real with yourself. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the courage to face your inner world honestly. This courage builds a foundation of authenticity that supports every step of your journey towards strength. When you accept and work with your emotions rather than fight them, you unlock a profound power within. This power sustains you through the darkest times and lights the path to lasting transformation. Your emotions are not barriers, but gateways. Embrace them fully, and you will discover that true strength is born from the depths of feeling, rising in waves of courage that carry you forward, stronger than ever before.